Hello everyone, how's it going? For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Lily. I am a brain injury unit nurse and I'm a mom of two. I have an 8-month-old and then I have a 4-year-old. A couple weeks ago, I made a video on how I sleep trained my 8-month-old. Back then he was 4.5 months old when I trained him to sleep through the night. So I made a video talking about how I trained him, and a lot of you messaged me asking me to make that video in English. I am Ethiopian, and that video was made in Amharic, which is one of the languages in Ethiopia. So a lot of you asked me to make you an English video, and here it is. Liam, who is now 8 months old, sleeps really good. He sleeps 12 hours at night. I put him down at 7 p.m. and he wakes up at 7 a.m. He also takes about 3 naps during the daytime, and they're all from 2 to 3 hours long, and he's actually been sleeping for 3 hours now. Not making this video, so I'm not gonna wake him up. I'm gonna wait for him, but yeah, he's sleeping right now. So he sleeps very good, and I am very certain that it's because I took 4 days to train him. And I did the same kind of training with my other son, my 4-year-old, when he was 6 months old, and it worked like a charm. For both boys, I used the Ferber method to train them. And I will be telling you guys in detail exactly like what I did and what chart I followed. But before I do that, let me tell you guys how much sleep is important for babies. Sleep is way more important than even food for babies, because when they sleep is when they're forming new brain cells, and they're making new connections in their head, and it's so important for them to sleep. After 4 months old, babies don't need to get up at night to feed. The research says after 4 months old, babies can sleep 10 hours long at night. And I will leave you guys a link below of like pediatricians, doctors, and what the research says, that how much like sleep is so important, and kids after 4 months old can sleep like 10 hours at night and they will be fine. So the first thing I did with Liam was from the start, I think I started this around 2 months, I made sure that when I put him in his crib that he doesn't fully fall asleep on me. Because what you're trying to teach them is how to fall asleep without needing you to do something for them, like giving them a pacifier or feeding them on your boob. Like just you want to put them in their crib or bassinet, so that they can learn to fall asleep on their own. They have to like master that skill. So that's what you're trying to teach them. Because what happens at night is, when they wake up at night and they don't know how to go back to sleep, they're gonna cry and they're gonna need mom's help or dad's help to put them back to sleep. So that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to teach them how to fall asleep on their own without using something, without us rocking them, giving them a pacifier, any of that. So I cut away the pacifier. He wasn't using it that much. He was using it just a little bit, but I just, completely took away the pacifier. And the good time to take the pacifier away is between 4 months and 6 months. You can take away the pacifier. That's like the best time. So that's what I did. I took away the pacifier, and I've been like trying to train him to kind of fall asleep on his own, but he hadn't mastered it yet. He really likes whenever I'm breastfeeding him, he just falls asleep on my boob. So one of the first things that you want to do when you sleep train them is you want to make sure that the room they're gonna be sleeping in is dark. So you want to do everything to help them understand that it's bedtime. So you want to make sure that the room is dark. I used blackout curtains, and I would make the room very dark. And then I have a white noise machine I've talked about that on a lot of my other videos before. White noise machines are really good to kill background sound. So it's this little machine that you play in the room, and it makes this noise like a rain sound. If you look it up on YouTube, look up white noise machine, it will come up. And I would use that whenever it's his bedtime, so that all the other noises are canceled. Like we can be loud outside, we can have music outside, and he still wouldn't hear that. So that was the other thing that I did. And then another thing that I did, at the time, Liam was close to 3 months, close to 5 months. I got him a little lovey. It's a little doll. Maybe if I put another video in, you guys will see. It's a little doll that he sleeps with. He's actually sleeping with it. He's hugging it right now. So it goes. I started using that just to soothe him, just so he has something, a little toy in the bassinet that he can play with whenever he wakes up. So I started leaving that. They say, I think before 6 months, not to leave any kind of blankets, any kind of toys in the bassinet, because they can suffocate. Like if it gets on their face, maybe they're not gonna roll as much. They're not, they still move and roll around a little, but they don't move around so much, so it might get on their face and suffocate them, and we don't want that. So what I did was I started using it from the start, but I would give it to him so that he has something familiar he can see all the time. And at the time, his motor wasn't good. He couldn't even grab it. But then after he slept, I would always watch him on the monitor and go in and take out the toy. So having something like that is really nice for them to get familiarized with something, because now he just loves that little toy. It's a little blankie with an elephant. He plays with it. Whenever I put him in the bed, maybe if I put in video, like I said, you guys will see. When I put him in the bed, he's so happy. He grabs it, he plays with it, he throws it around, and then he falls asleep. So it's really nice for him to have something in the crib. But like I said, be very, very careful when they can't move around, can't turn around. We don't want to put anything in the crib that could suffocate them. So that's one thing that I did. And then research says kids pick up a new habit in 4 days, which is why, and I've seen it with my own eyes. If you guys, the Ferber method, what I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys stick to it and you do it for 4 days, your kids will pick up this new habit, whether sleeping through the night or sleeping good at nap time. If you guys stick through it, they will make it, and they won't need your help after that. So if you start sleep training them, make sure you stick to it. If not, it's better if you don't start it, because you're going to confuse them. Like you're going to start training them, you're going to be leaving them in a room on their own, trying to teach them to sleep on their own, and then you stop doing that, they're going to be confused, like what is going on. So it's going to be very hard to restart it. So just stick to the method. And then I always had a nighttime routine. So especially at that time, I started a nighttime routine where at night, whenever it's like close to bedtime, everyone becomes quiet. Like not like quiet, but everything is just low. Like we don't talk loud. The TV, we turn down the TV. And we have our 4-year-old. He's not like screaming around, jumping around. It's bedtime, it's quiet, we turn off all the big lights, and we just want him to start feeling and knowing that this is bedtime, it's time to go to bed. It's not happy time, let's get up and not happy, but like it's not time to play. And then I would always give him a bath, and it's not because he needed a bath, but I just wanted to get him in that routine at first. So a lot of time I would just put him in the water, let him play with the water, and then I would take him out. So he wouldn't even like I wouldn't even like wash them with soap every time, which is not good for their skin. It could dry their skin. So yeah, I would let him play in the water, and then I would take him out, and then put lotion on him, give him a little massage while I'm doing his lotion. I would sing for him, and then I would do his last feeding, his last breastfeed, and it's a long one. I will feed him. Make sure you feed him in light outside, not in that dark room that you're gonna have him sleep in, the bedroom. um, so I would do that, and then when it's bedtime, I would go in the room and I would put him in the bassinet and say, okay baby, it's time to go to sleep, I love you, it's bedtime. And then I would just leave him there and go out. So the first day that I did that, he was very upset. He didn't understand why I left him. Normally I would hold him and he would fall asleep on me. So he was very, very upset. And he just started crying like crazy. And I walked out of the room. It is the hardest thing in the world to hear your baby cry, and to not go pick them up, especially when you're used to doing that. I promise you they're okay. Like I said, I'll leave you guys some videos that would help you, help, give you comfort knowing that it's okay. Babies cry, and as long as they're not hungry, their diaper's not dirty, they're fine. So don't, I know it's stressful when you hear your baby cry, but it's not gonna be forever. It's just for a few days. They will get through it. They just don't know what's going on, and they're trying to figure it out. And it's the trying to figure out phase, and they will figure it out. I'm gonna show you guys a chart of the Ferber method and exactly what I followed.
This is the Ferber method chart that I followed. So basically, after you do your baby's nighttime routine and after you feed them, then you go ahead and you put them in their bed, in their crib or bassinet, without them falling asleep on you. You just go ahead, put them in, and you say, I love you, baby. It's time to go to sleep. You're going to be okay. And you leave the room. And then, for instance, for day one, the first check-in is going to be in 3 minutes. So if they don't fall asleep, which they won't, and they'll be crying, the first time you're going to go in and check in on them is in 3 minutes. Have your alarm ready for 3 minutes, and then at 3 minutes you go in. You don't pick them up. You say the same thing again. You can put your hand on them if you need to. I prefer not making eye contact. I just go in and quietly say, it's okay, baby. It's time to go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. Mama's here. And then you don't wait more than 20 seconds in the room. Make sure you don't wait longer than 20 seconds saying that. And then you walk out of the room. And then you wait 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, you do the same thing. You go and do the same thing. And then 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes. And then it repeats 10 minutes after that until they fall asleep. And then day 2 is going to be 5 minutes at first, and then 10 minutes, and then 12 minutes, and then 12 minutes, and then it repeats that 12 minutes. So every day, as you can see, the time gets longer and longer and longer. That way your baby knows that it's okay and mama will be checking on me, and they will figure out how to fall asleep on their own.
So the first day that I did this, the first 3 minutes, he was crying hysterically like crazy. And then I went in the room and I said, it's okay, you're okay, Baba. And I didn't pick him up. You just put your hand and tell him that. And he stopped crying and he started looking at me and kind of talking. And then as soon as I started going out again, he started crying like crazy. And when they do that, you don't go back. You wait 5 minutes. You follow the chart. So I waited 5 minutes the next time. So I waited 5 minutes. He was crying. It was like sometimes low and then sometimes high. I went back in it again and I did that. And then I think the first day, the longest it took was like 10 minutes. And after that, his cry became like low. He's trying to figure it out, fidget around, and then he fell asleep. So that was the first night. And then what I did was the second night. And then what happened was he slept until like 10 p.m. And around 10 p.m. I used to dream feed him. I used to pick him up and just feed him at 10 always before I go to bed. So he woke up at that time because he had made that habit. So when he woke up, I waited, I saw him. It almost felt like me going in was irritating him even more because he didn't understand why I was coming in the room and then I don't pick him up. So you'll build that. Like every kid is different. You guys will see, but you just make sure that you don't pick them up and follow that chart. So I heard him, and I think before I went in, he fell asleep. So it was good. And then again, he woke up around 3 a.m. and then he, fussed around, cried around, and then fell asleep. So this whole time I'm watching him. I'm watching all these videos of just to reassure myself that my baby's okay. I'm watching him on the camera. And if you guys don't have a camera at that age, they're not able to like get up and look at you. So you can go to the door and peek at them and make sure that they're okay. And I promise you they're okay, but your heart, your mommy heart is gonna be hurting so much that you want to go in and check on them. So that's what I did. I was looking at the camera. I was very close to his room. I couldn't even fall asleep, and I just watched him. And then second day, again, I followed the same thing, and I did the same method. Again, like I felt like whenever I go in to tell him it's okay, it was making it worse. So it was almost better to just leave it and like wait on him. And I just followed that chart. And then third day, the fourth day was the best one. I went in, put him down, and he fell asleep. And he didn't wake up until like morning, which was really nice. I think the fourth day, like now I can't remember exactly how many hours, but I think he slept like the whole 10 hours. And like didn't even get up to fuss around, because he would like the third day and stuff, he would get up and like fuss around and go back, but he didn't do that on the fourth day, and I was very happy. And sometimes they revert back from their habits, like on the 6th or 7th day he started like crying hysterically like at night, and then I kept watching him. And what you do is you still stick to that the diagram that I showed you guys, and I'll leave a link for it down below. So you watch that, and it's the 6th day, so how many minutes do I wait? And you watch that, and he fell asleep on his own. So he stopped needing me, and he would fall asleep on his own. And it didn't take really much time. Like I say, the fourth night he slept really good, and then he kind of came back to like getting up around them times like the 6th, 7th day, but he would still like get up, fuss around, and then go back to sleep on his own. He is now like such a happy baby. I would recommend, if you're training your baby, like 5-6 months is like the best time to train them, but the research says you can train them starting from 4 months. Sleep is so important for us mommies, for dads, for the whole family. So I would really suggest trying it. I promise you guys, nothing will happen to the kids. It's actually a very good thing you're teaching them. And I'm gonna leave you guys a video of a pediatrician talking about how actually like sleep training. She sleep trained her kids this way. And sleep training your kids this way, in the long run, you're actually helping their health. Their sleep in the future is gonna be great. And I know that because my 4-year-old, he always sleeps in his room. He has no issues. He's happy with bedtime, gets his toys and goes in and sleeps. And he has no problems. Like he sleeps all night. He always likes sleeping in his own room. He's a happy boy when he wakes up. He's refreshed. Same thing with my little one, my 8 months old. He's such a happy baby when he wakes up in the mornings. And then also for the naps, he figured it out. He used to take like 30-40 minute naps. And now he sleeps like for 3 hours because around 40 minutes, like he kind of wakes up, looks around, and then goes back to sleep. And then at like that 3 hours mark, he usually sits. He'll wake up, sit, and then start talking. So I'll go get him. So it's just like, it's so good for the babies and for you guys. So I would really, really suggest doing the sleep training. Thank you guys for watching this channel. I have started, I just made a video talking about what to feed your kids. When he was 6 months old, I started feeding him real food, oatmeal and rice cereal. So I talked about what I feed him during the day. And then I also made a video talking about constipation in kids. Both videos I put in subtitles in English. I typed them. It's not perfect, but I'm trying to make it better and better so that you guys who don't speak Amharic can also watch these videos. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I hope it works for you like it worked for me. If you start sleep training them, stick to it. Don't start and stop. That way it's just easier on the baby, easier on you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week on another video.